So I've debated about doing this video a few different ways. But what I've settled on is just sitting down and speaking from the heart. I have my familiar sitting right here. That's fine. Yeah, as you can tell. But I want to say it from the heart. No cue cards. No, structurization or anything. I might miss a few points, but it will be honest and direct as possible. But this is an introduction into me and, why am I qualified to teach these topics? Why, what made me go down this path? Who am I as a person? Those are all the types of questions I get, and I figured I'd just address them all in one video. That being said, I have practiced since I was the age of 17. However, I had an incident when I was 10 where I did die at my state's hospital, like the main hospital in the state, because I was so malnourished. I was diagnosed with Crohn's at the time, and I've dealt with severe Crohn's for almost all my life since. Um, but when I was 10, I died in the hospital. I was met by a dragon. My personal belief is that God appears in whatever form that or your subconscious wants. And for me, that was a dragon. And I was always obsessed with dragons as a kid, so I believe that is why it took that form. But anyway, and that's also why I do Draconic Wicca. But anyways, I was met with the dragon who gave me a choice. I could either live a very hard life, or I could be taken right then and there. And at that time, I was having severe issues with my stepmother, who actually I heard her before the incident where I died, I heard her asking the doctor how long it was going to be until I died, that way she could go home. I literally made the choice to stay alive just to upset her. I did it out of spite as a kid, but you know what? Whatever works. It's why I'm here today and able to help so many people. But that was my first encounter with it, and ever since then, after that, I had the belief system of paganism and Wicca. However, I didn't know what it was called. It was just my personal beliefs on things matched with theirs, and I didn't know there was a thing it was called. So when I was 17, I had another incident happen, and what happened was I had someone who used black magic on me. Unfortunately, it was a type of black love spell. They were trying to get me to fall in love with them. But luckily, my shielding, my intuition, whatever, I was protected some way, somehow. And I knew in my heart of hearts that, no, it wasn't love, it was something else. It was manipulation. And so I had talked to a coworker at the time, told him about it, and he's like, dude, I think that you've been cursed, basically. And he was neo-pagan. He's the one that introduced me and said, no, your belief system matches this, matches that, but he helped me to help break that curse, that link between us. Did a cord cutting ritual, a visualized one, where you visualize it and then you actually cut a string in real life. But anyways, he helped me with that, and that's when I first started diving into it. I had started digging into it through an online website called Skool. I'm no longer with them, but I did learn a lot of different lessons and belief systems, and I researched a lot while I was on there. I got many certificates, including a pagan mentorship, a shrine temple, study temple, Rike level 2, I also got up to second degree clergy while I was with them. I have not expanded to third, but I have gone to second. And I got that. I got a lot of different certificates. Which is why, and I actually taught classes on the school after I became first degree, or second degree, I mean. I started actually teaching people in the first degree so that they could get their first degree licensing. So I did do a lot for many years through them, but it got to a point where some of the things that was happening inside, and I'm not bashing them, I'm just saying that I disagreed with the way they did some stuff, and so I stopped being a teacher there and everything else. But I learned so much information. My personal belief was that all classes and information should be accessible for free. I don't believe in gatekeeping that. I don't believe in, making people pay a lot of money for it. And there was a lot of basic classes on there that they were requesting you buy. And I didn't agree with that, which is why I have structured my school to the way it is. And how most of the lessons, except for the advanced ones or the ones that have actual spells in them, are free. But the extras for those classes, like 5 different books to expand on the study, the answer key to the questions that you're supposed to ponder after reading the class. And I'll add more and more stuff to that list as it goes on. I call it, it's in a special class that I'm calling post reviews. And those are post reviews of classes. It's meant to get your brain going on the subject and allows you to, if you have an interest in that subject, it allows you to expand the knowledge on stuff I don't know. I don't know everything, but I'm always willing to learn. So if you have a topic that I don't know, I will learn with you. I'm just a knowledge seeker. Because my health and everything else, I was in the hospital quite a bit. At one point I was in the hospital for 6 months as a kid. And the only, thing I could do is get more information about different topics. And I researched a lot because I had access to it. And I know there are a lot of people that don't have access to it. I'm also creating a program that allows people to practice their belief system inside of places like a hospital. And it includes things like making a book of shadows pages, notes. You can write pages up as dedication to ancestors who have passed on. There's a spot for alchemy type stuff, like it's just chock full of stuff. If you're interested in the program, I do have a separate class that I have set aside for all I know you're there, honey. Set aside for that purpose and for that game/program. I will be uploading a video to that class as well to show you guys kind of what it means, like what it can do. But so yeah. Anyways, I got all these certificates, and I basically decided on my own that I wanted to branch out with the Lunar Mystic name. That is and it's an eclectic religion, meaning it pulls from many different ones. And like I said, I used to help people get their first degree to become clergy members like myself. If you are interested in that, I will have no problem making a class about it. However, because I no longer belong to the tradition that I was doing it for, I can't certify anyone. But I can give you the basic information that you're going to need in classes without costing a bunch of money to do it. So I just feel that information should be accessible. And that's the whole premise of my school. I do take donations now. as was suggested, to make a donation. The link is in the introduction video, that the very first post that I made, that you see when you start the classes. I will be adding this video to it as well. However, I'm not asking for money. If you want to help out, to help pay the small $9 fee, that way I can keep doing this for free, that'd be great. In my personal life, I am a computer programmer. I own my own video game company, which is why I'm able to make the program/video game. I say /video game because you walk around and use the controls like a video game. You actually go to like altars. You're actually researching the herbs in the game. You can actually see in game what they look like, because I used actual models of it and made 3D models of the herbs, so you have a generalized idea of what they look like. It gives you a bunch of information, the medical use, the magical use. But yeah, enough about the program. I also run an apothecary, and so I studied a lot of the alchemy studies and, herbal remedies and all that. So that's why I already have so many alchemy classes. I'm gonna release this video, and at the time of the release, I will be making a lot of changes to the classes, and I will be adding a lot of work in progress as placeholder classes. That way I have a generalized feel of what I will be teaching, and I can go back so I'm not forgetting stuff, to add it to it, and that way you as students can see what is going to come with Lunar Mystic. And that's in me in a nutshell. If you have questions about, anything, feel free to ask. I love having intellectual conversations. I love talking to people about occult stuff. I love talking to people about my programming stuff too. I believe I am autistic at the same time, so that's why those are my two niches, is programming and the occult. So those are something I focus very heavily on, in that regards. I'm probably missing some stuff, but that's the basic intro. If you have questions, ask me. Otherwise, I will try and make myself available weekly, if you have questions. But I hope this introduction finds you well. And like I said, any question, anytime, about anything, is free for me. If you have the guts to ask me, I will respect it, and I will have the guts to answer it, or help you find the answer to it, one or the other. But blessed be, and I really hope that you take some of this stuff to heart. Oh, and the other one thing before I just remembered something. All the classes are based on the 28 laws of magic, and every single class I show you how it relates. The laws themselves, there's 28 of them, like the title suggests, and in those laws, it tells you the different things of how magic works. It follows universal laws. Even as diverse as magic is, it does have 28 laws that it observed. And so I use those laws to help teach and to help guide. That way, not only are you just reading spells, you're understanding why they work, you're understanding if they will work, and you can make your own tailored to your personal needs. I plan on having Draconic in there, fairy folk on there. I will have some of the demon type stuff, but it won't be for practice. It won't be any how-tos on summoning them. It will give you information that you will know to look out for, and to prepare yourself for. Alright, and that should end it. I will add more I will text more in the post if I feel I miss some important information. But blessed be.